Hello all. Got an interesting beer here from Quebec, Boréale Brewery, or Boréale. It's IPA du Nord-Est, or I guess they would say IPA du Nord-Est, which is funny because this brewery, Quebec is northeast of New England, but they call this IPA of the Northeast. So I didn't know anything about this beer. It's made a trip to Vermont, and they had it at this at the Big Fatty's barbecue retail beer shop next door. A really interesting dating on the bottom. It gives you, the first one is the canning date, January 24th. So this is less than a month old. But then the Best By date is February 28th. So the Best By is like, they put it as like 5-6 weeks after the canning. I had one of these and I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay in a week when it's past the Best By date. But I guess they just really care about it being fresh, which is good, but I find that, the best hazy IPAs will stay good for a long time because they know what they're doing with the whole packaging and all that stuff. But let's just get into this beer. It uses Citron Mosaic hops, of course. Don't really know anything else. I think they list the IBUs at 78 on the website, but who really cares about IBUs anymore? And it is very hazy, a little bit on the dark orange side, I guess. I wonder if maybe this is one of those beers that like darkens with age and looks worse and worse. But it looks perfectly good right now. Pretty nice looking head too. Some tiny bubbles and some big bubbles. Ooh-wee. That smells like pineapples and peaches canned in syrup. It's very, very peachy. Definitely got some big peach esters from the yeast. This reminds me of the yeast that it seemed like a lot of the hazy IPAs, they were first coming out, 4 years ago. Used this kind of yeast. I don't know if it's the Conan yeast or something. I've thought it was that, but it's a different quality than the Alchemist has. But I think, it's really hard to do what the Alchemist is doing. Their beer really sticks out. But it smells really good, but I don't know if I like that much yeast character. But this has really high ratings, probably because it's the only kind of good hazy IPA that's been available in Quebec for a long time. But just like overwhelming peach. It's just big peach. Not really peach gummies, but more like canned peaches. Similar taste, a little minerally, not a huge body. It's only 6%, but a substantial body. It's not thin or watery or anything like that, but it isn't ultra soft. And even though it smells like fruit syrup in a way, it's not that sweet. With a little bit of a dryness in the finish. I feel like I can kind of taste the gypsum or the calcium chloride a little bit in the finish. I feel like this isn't a super clean beer, but there's nothing really super wrong with it. This is what a lot of people like. A lot of people want this in their hazy IPA. All hazy IPAs are not the same. That's kind of almost what I've been doing in these reviews, is trying to prove that they're different and figure out how they're different and what causes the differences. I'm not sure what I would compare this to specifically for like a hazy IPA brewer in America. It just has that peachy yeast that I guess the first time I noticed it in a hazy IPA was Peak Organics The Juice years ago. Except that one's not that great, but I haven't had it since it first came out. I think a lot of brewers use this yeast. It might just be the London Ale 3 too, that a lot of brewers use. And just however they're brewing it, maybe at a higher temperature or something, and it's throwing out some esters that I feel like they're helping with the fruitiness, but it's also kind of distracting from the hop character. Like, this isn't dank at all. There's like, it doesn't have a huge hop intensity bang on the palate, which I kind of like sometimes. It's not chalky though or anything like that. If you really like peachy, yeasty, estery, hazy IPAs, and you see this around, pick it up. It was pretty inexpensive, and I also like that it's only 6%. But I'm not sure if I would grab it again if I saw it. Maybe if they do a slightly different variety, if they do like a different hop one, or maybe I'd try a double IPA if they had them. But it's a pretty good job and kind of a fun thing to pick up. I'd probably give this like a 4, probably. Maybe a little higher, but not quite the 4.24 it has on Untapped. Okay, that's it. Bye.